Hello and welcome to round 2 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast. I'm Catherine Haleko and I'm here with Terri Morrow. Say hi, Terri.
Hello.
Usually on this podcast we talk about parenting issues, but once a week Terri and I like to get together to discuss TV, movies, books, and other entertainment topics because it's nice to talk about something other than parenting for a change. This week, we were planning to cover 2 episodes of The West Wing to get caught up with the West Wing Weekly podcast, but then we found out that they are taking this week off. So we're just going to discuss one episode, and then that way next week we'll get back in sync with them.
Yes.
That's the idea.
So that was an unexpected extra hour for me. You had already watched it. But
right.
Yes. But
So then we'll also talk about Netflix's Master of None, Season 2, Episode 4. But first, ABC tried an experiment in nostalgia by bringing back Battle of the Network Stars. And we both spent an hour of our lives watching it.
We did, didn't we?
What did you think?
Well, I watched it kind of backwards. I think I watched the second half first and the first half second. And, well, it wasn't good.
No, it really
and boy,
wasn't.
Every time they mentioned the original, that was a bad idea. So perhaps you don't want to remind people of when this was good and enjoyable.
Right.
Because, wow, this was possibly an unfortunate one to start on. Maybe some of the future ones will be a little peppier. These folks, I just felt a sense of melancholy over the entire endeavor. You know, it wasn't even sad like, this is stupid, it's so sad. It was like, oh man, look at them.
Yeah.
Do they really have to do this? Is it really that important to be on TV? Oh, young actors, did your agent really put the muscle on you to make you show up for this thing? Yeah. I just felt bad for everybody involved.
I did too.
And that's rough. Not, I don't think, the spirit which it was intended.
No, I mean, I think it either needed to be way more silly and campy.
Yeah.
Like, I kept picturing, like, what if this were Wipeout? You know?
Right.
I mean, that show was just so over the top goofy that you couldn't help but kind of enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
And this was not that. Like, they needed different activities, or they needed, like, they didn't have to bring back all the same stuff they did 30 years ago. You know, they could have had different competitions and events.
I don't know if there was anything with this particular group that I would have enjoyed seeing them do other than, like, sit around a campfire and talk about the wreckage of their careers. Because... You know, I think career counseling of the network stars is where we need to go next. I was trying to count up how many of them had been on Dancing with the Stars, and it was more than a few. So
really?
This is like a couple of rungs down.
Yes.
Into the dregs of celebrity. And it wasn't that way. When it was originally on, it was people who are currently on TV and wanted to prove themselves in a different venue. Dan Fienberg had a very good review of it that pretty much hit all those points. We'll link to it in our show notes. And that made it fun. It was people that you see every this was back when there was 3 networks children, back in the ancient days. And so these were the people you watched all the time, and then here was them doing something different, and they were competitive, and here's that person from one show I like racing against this person from the other show I like. It was a hoot. It was fun, and everybody was super into it. They were trying hard. There was Howard Cosell, you know, it was a completely different animal. This particular group, which was ridiculously, what was it, TV Kids versus TV
sitcoms, but they could have been interchanged. Like, everyone on one team could have been on the other team and vice versa,
so that was confusing, and some of those folks did not look so good. And then you had this thing where the poor reporters who had to be, like, talking this thing up were saying, like, we want to see Tom Arnold in the dunk tank. He's great at trash talk. And then poor shambly Tom Arnold finally gets up there and sits down and starts basically pleading for his life.
Right.
You know,
Please don't
I know you. I know your family. I knew you when you were a kid. You don't want to dunk me. And it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This is just tragic. You poor people. And Tracy Gold was there and she like competed in a couple of things. Did anybody ever talk to her?
It sure didn't look like it. They
didn't
really
see
hardly
them.
ever showed her.
Oh my gosh. Did
Yeah.
she have that in her contract? I will come, I will run, I will jump, but I will not talk on camera, which just then opens up all sorts of, oh, honey.
Right.
Honey.
Yeah.
So I felt really bad. Although I will say, I mean, I thought that the camera, the camera work they did on those people made them look older and tireder and rougher than they might otherwise have looked. Even the kids, I mean, Corbin Blue looked like, you know, they found him out in back of a bar and dragged him over. Here, kid, we'll give you a job.
Right.
And they looked awful. However, was it Rhonda Rousey? Is that her name?
Rousey,
Who was the captain?
I think. Yeah.
Rousey? She looked fabulous.
Yes.
She, like, paid off the stylist, clearly. She said, give me the good camera angles and the nice hair. You can put the wrinkles and the age spots on them, but I want to look at... She should go on Dancing with the Stars. She would do fabulously.
Yeah, she would be
This
good.
show, maybe not the best thing. But, I mean, I will give it another chance if it's a group of people that
you're interested in.
that I'm interested in that are like not quite so exhumed, but
Exhumed.
I mean they've all been on stuff, so they're. I have to laugh when they're at the beginning when they're announcing themselves, and basically it's usually the show they were on back in their heyday, and where they live. And Kim Fields mentioned Dancing with the Stars amongst her credits.
Yes, she did.
Let me give you my resume of grasping for fame.
Stuff I have tried.
Guys.
Yep.
There's got to be a better way, people. Really, really. There's got to.
Yes, I also watched the $100,000 Pyramid, half of it, because it had Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Andrews.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
So I only watched it because those two were on it. And
and how did they do?
they did okay. I mean, there was a lot of like, we're so competitive, trash talk, you know, that kind of thing. And then Aaron forgot the difference between trampoline and tambourine. And
as one does.
And she was in the, you know, final round or whatever with her person, and she kept saying, you know, you jump on it. and they're like, trampoline? And she's like, yeah. But no, that wasn't it.
I mean, there's this whole galaxy now of shows that are utilizing stars of various vintages and levels of celebrity, right? Mm-hmm. All these game shows. Have you ever watched Hollywood Game Night?
I have watched it once in a while back when it was on, you know, a very long time ago, but I guess it's coming back, right?
It's back on now, because I've never watched it, but maybe I watched it once. I listened to the podcast.
Yes, that is funny.
The Show and Yell, and that is very funny. I enjoyed the podcast very much, way more than I would enjoy the show. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I guess this is the thing now that old TV stars never die. They just keep coming back in more and more humiliating
terrible
vehicles.
Competitions. Yeah, the one that was the Hollywood Game Night was tended to be a litlittle more fun. I mean, depending than this Battle of the Network Stars. I mean, depending on who was on, you know.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Jane Lynch, I kind of like her most of the time, and some of the people they had on were pretty good and pretty funny. And
a little more current maybe than this group. This particular group was unfortunate, I think. Maybe not the best one to start off the series with. Mm-hmm. And, you know, and the age imbalance was weird also, especially since given the two groups, you could have mixed those people up in any number of ways.
Yes.
And made it a little even. But when, you know, the Corbin Bleu is running against Tracy Gold, or there was, you know, a obstacle course where, the 26-year-old is going to beat the, you know, 54-year-old. What a surprise!
Shocking. Just like the shocking eliminations we see on other shows. Yeah.
Yes. Well,
yep, I think
I had high hopes that it would be campy fun. it's so far
not
on the evidence of this one, really not.
Yeah.
So,
it needs some work. Let's just say.
Yes, but I'm interested to see Joshua Malina in his week whenever that comes up.
Yeah.
I trust that he will find a way to make it snarky fun. Come on, we're counting on you, Josh.
We're counting on you, Josh. We're going to have to see.
Please don't go on and be pathetic and sad.
Right.
I will have to turn it off. I can't bear that.
Well, we will get back to Joshua Malina momentarily when we talk about The West Wing. But first, we're going to swing by Master of None with Aziz Ansari on Netflix. And we've been watching one at a time. The one we watched this time was called First Date. It was the 4th episode of the 2nd season. And it was merely a collection of Dev going out on first dates, and it was cute. It was it was filmed in such a way as to highlight the sameness and the differences of all these dates that you could find yourself going on
from this dating app, apparently.
Right.
So
it was,
which is basically Tinder with just a
So
that is the name of the one that it was based on, right?
I believe. Not that I have actually used Tinder.
Well, the whole thing made me just thank my lucky stars that I was married before all this nonsense began. Computer dating was in its embryonic phase when I was dating, and I did do it a tiny bit, but this would have been exhausting.
Yes, it did look exhausting, and they showed that, just by being like, you got to dress up, you got to go out, you got to make small talk, like all the things that are hard about it, basically.
You even have to think of a good line to put on when you
when you're messaging someone.
All these different women.
And Dev's was good. He is a comedian, so his was, I'm going to Whole Foods, can I get you anything? Which was cute. So
yes, over and over and over again.
Right, and he continued to use it even when someone called him out and said,
yes.
And even, after he'd gone on all these dates and he was kind of discouraged, but he still kept using that same line.
Man, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it was fun, slight but fun.
Yes. But, getting its commentary in, as it likes to do, on
I guess.
Topical matters.
Are we to think badly of him, which I couldn't help a little bit, that he takes all these women to the exact same places? I know it was just for the convenience of being able to intercut between different dates, which was very funny. But still, really, dude?
Well, that
he must have gone to
me.
the same restaurant like 25 times with different women. I'm surprised the waitress is not rolling her eyes.
Right. They did make
artistic license, I guess.
Yeah, so it didn't bother me because of that. Although they did show that the waitress knew him. He's like,
yes,
give me some of that wine you gave me the other day, whatever.
Yes, I assume that was supposed to be the wine that later he was.
Oh, could
the
be.
one women recommended. I
right,
thought was
right.
The case. It was really not the timeline of it all was really not easily discernible.
No,
but sometimes you have to let art flow over you.
Yes,
so
that is our motto for this podcast.
Indeed,
sometimes you let it go.
Yes.
So,
line from The Big Chill, which I often misquote, but I enjoyed it.
I understand what you mean. That's
it's kind of fun. Yeah, I am kind of enjoying the differentness of one episode to the next, even to the opening credits being different. It's kind of clever, At some point, I might want more substance, but especially since I'm usually watching these at the last minute. Mm-hmm. The lightweight ones that go down easy are merciful.
Right. Well, I had heard that some of them are different lengths. All the ones we've done so far have only been about a half an hour each, but there are maybe some longer ones coming down the pike. So we will keep watching. Next week it's called
Yes, we will.
Dinner Party.
I'm enjoying it. Okay.
So now we will get to The West Wing.
Yes.
The one that we watched, or I watched, we both watched.
We both watched this one.
This one is called 100,000 Airplanes. And this one had as its sort of main theme was preparing for the State of the Union.
Right.
Correct.
Yes.
Well, and even it included the State of the Union.
Yes, it was a time shifting back and forth between the period right immediately after the censure when, picking up where H. Con, whatever the number was, left off. Really, I guess, starts that same day, right? Because they're telling the rest of the staff about it.
Right.
And then trying to figure out how that affects the State of the Union, and then back to the time when the president is actually delivering it or immediately after.
Right.
One of those time jumpy ones that the West Wing likes to do.
They really do, yes.
And does very well, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I could follow. I wasn't confused. I mean, the way they used Sam's ex-fiance to kind of keep you, to indicate when you are in the present of the State of the Union.
Right.
She was there kind of watching. And because she was going to write a story about him. And I agree with Joshua Malina.
Yeah.
What kind of a reporter never writes anything down? A single thing.
Yes, that was suspicious.
So she said I would give her
I
notes.
would be in that situation.
I will give my notes to another reporter because you're uncomfortable. Like, what notes? You haven't written anything down.
What notes would those be, girlie?
Right.
Are you wired? Are you wearing a wire here?
Yeah.
Pat her down. Now, every time the camera was off her, she's frantically scribbling.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't buy
I'm
it.
sure that was it.
Yes.
But, yeah, that did not really help with us supposed to feel like Sam's rap on her was bad.
Mm-hmm.
She did seem kind of,
Right.
not a serious,
Right.
not serious about stuff.
Right.
But sort of a thankless role for her to be interviewing him when he was so pissy. So
yeah. So that was happening, and it was a whole. The Sam story was not only this reporter, but it was also that he wanted to. He was helping the president put in a line, a little section in the State of the Union about curing cancer.
Right.
Remember? And nobody else thought it was a good idea.
Yeah. Well, the West Wing podcast people felt that why didn't they want to put it in? They should be able to put it in. There should be a way to put it in. But I thought they were pretty clear on the show that it wasn't necessarily that you wouldn't be able to put that in because of all those good reasons that Sam and the president talked about. But also for this particular president at this particular time, it would be politically unwise. I think that was the point of view of everybody else, that people are going to think you're trying to buy off.
Yeah. But, it seems to me that that's kind of what the whole State of the Union usually sounds like anyway.
I guess so. Yeah.
So
but,
I don't know if it would have struck me as politically pandering, but then again, I'm already on his side, so.
That's true.
It's hard to say.
Yeah. But, I don't know. I liked the fact that Sam was the one who went with him on it, and that Sam was also the one who brought him down. That was very nice. That was very Sam-like. He would be the one who would want to do the idealistic thing. He still is the one who wants to do the idealistic thing after all this time.
Right.
So, and boy, as we were saying that the folks on Battle of the Network Stars had the lens that made them look as wrinkled and age-spotted and tired as possible, they had the handsome lens on Rob Lowe, even more than usual in this one. He just was working the boyishly handsome thing all the darn time, and it was hard not to notice. That is a good-looking fella.
Yep. That's why they pay him the big bucks and give him
That is indeed.
Give him the top billing.
Yep, he slipped the cameraman a few bucks there, Yes. I want the Ronda Rousey lighting this time.
Yes.
So,
and then you had Josh and Amy Gardner, with his really smart move of trying to tell her that her boyfriend was only with her because he's looking for women's votes. Good idea there.
He is really bad at this. And I did very much enjoy her wide variety of, don't talk to me. Yes. Don't talk to me. Yes. Sometimes that sort of thing comes up, from her character, comes up as very artificial. But this time, it was very effective. I enjoyed it. Because really, you should shut up.
Yes, stop.
You really should have shut up. Retroactively. Although I really enjoyed then, as I was saying, once the seed of doubt is planted, there is no digging it up. And when the guy finally shows up and asks her to go to the photo op, that was a great scene. Because it's like, you can't get that out of your head that's why he's doing it. Right. And so now everything he does is going to sound suspicious. And he did look kind of oily, and politician-y.
Yeah.
She just gives Josh that look.
That look like, oh my God. You might be right.
Yeah, and now even if you're wrong, you have ruined this for me. So, he did not sweep away the cobwebs of doubt with that little scene.
No, with his wanting her to be in his photo op. Exactly.
Yeah.
Which before Josh had said that could have just been like, I want my girlfriend to be in pictures with me.
Sure. But once that little seed is planted, and I love that it was Toby who Toby is like his wingman now.
I know.
Which is probably not the person you want to be your wingman.
Yes, but it seems to be working.
So far, he's really ticked her off a couple of times, so A+ work.
Right.
But yes, I think that the old boyfriend is going to be going away as an obstacle.
Well, stay tuned for the Two Bartlets coming up next.
Yes, I will remember.
There will be some progress. So,
yes, as I say, we have Amy around for a while.
Right.
So, I was also struck by in my shallow look at this episode. Marlee Matlin changed her hair. I was like looking at, is it a different cut? Is it a different color? She looked different to me. Donna should have said, Joey, I love your hair, because it's, some acknowledgement. I thought she looked different. Maybe not. Maybe new glasses.
No, I think it distracted me. I think you might be right about the hair.
Lighter, maybe. Highlights or something.
Yeah.
But,
so it was nice to see her again, although it does kind of raise the question of, like, remember how you used to like Joey?
That's right. That ship has sailed.
Yeah. So yes.
Apparently so. Yeah, but I always like having her in, and it adds a little something to all those wonky scenes of talking about numbers and things, to have some of it be in sign language. So that was good. And I sort of liked when Lisa asked Sam who was Joey, and then Sam yells for Kenny. Right. That was cute.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And in that episode, it was Lisa. It was a tele-Lisa the whole time instead of being
That's right. There was a lot of tele-Lisaing. Had you ever seen that actress before?
She looked super familiar, but then I found out her name was Trailer. I'm like, that's really unfortunate.
Yeah, well, the two credits they mentioned for her on West Wing Weekly are the only two I know of, which is A Guy, a Girl, and a Pizza Place, and Monk. Did you ever watch Monk? You don't watch any of those off-brand procedurals, right?
No.
She was like the second assistant on Monk.
Oh, okay.
After the woman from A League of Our Own left. So I recognized her for that. Right. From that. I don't know what she's done lately. She must be doing something. But, Anyway. Yeah. I enjoyed it better than I thought I would.
Well, that's good.
Obviously not one of the heavier episodes. There's certainly the two we just watched were, especially Bartlett for America, was fabulous. We have Night 5 coming up, which I like very much, and also Dead Irish Writers. I'm looking forward to that one a lot. So the ones in between are sort of like, all right, we got to get through these.
We just need to get to that. Yeah.
And some of those get through 'em ones are going to be awful. This was okay. This was fun. I enjoyed watching this one again.
Good.
And like the Master of None one, it went down very quickly.
Yes. So next week we will watch the Two Bartlets, and then we should be back in sync with the West Wing Weekly podcast.
Yes.
And
Unlike them, we will not be taking a week off between the Two Bartlets and Night 5, which is unfortunate.
Yes.
Because I believe, like all these other ones, it really takes up exactly where the other one left off. So that was a bad time for them to take a break. I understand why they need to.
The 4th of July happens on the 4th of July every year.
Yep. You'll have to watch that Toby and Bartlett scene again before watching Night 5.
Oh, yeah. So, Two Bartlets, the next Master of None, which is Dinner Party.
Right.
And, Terri, we will be reinstating our challenge round.
Yes, we will.
With the book, The Royal We. If Terri can finish reading it in time.
We shall see. I could say it's not looking too good, but you know what? Miracles happen. Sometimes I get a free evening, sit down, I read.
Yes.
You never know.
I hope.
Otherwise, I'll just read about it on Wikipedia and fake it.
Sneaky. Okay.
You're going to have to find 5 small,
real
inconsequential details to ask me about. Give me a quiz. Put together a quiz to see if I actually read it.
I will. It is not the shortest book you could choose, but it's.
Well, we can maybe
so
do it in
fun.
Installments. Could we read the first third and then
that would
discuss
be okay
that?
with me if that's what it takes.
I've read the prologue, the little bit at the beginning.
Oh, nice.
That flashes back.
Right.
We can talk about that.
No, it starts in the present, and then it flashes back.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I read the part in the present.
Okay.
And the beginning, the flashback.
Right.
So I'll get some of it read, if not all of it.
Okay.
I really mean well. My heart is in the right place.
I know it is.
But my brain is
all
hip
over.
deep in work. Yes. So, okay. Well, something to look forward to.
That's right. So that's going to be it for round 2 today. Please subscribe to our Parenting Roundabout podcast so you won't miss any of our episodes, including our daily speed rounds and our weekly group chats. We are not taking a break this week. We are plowing forward.
Yes, we are.
And as always, you can find recaps, links, and a chance to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. Bye, Terri.
Bye, Catherine.
Bye, everyone.